series of videos on how to use my book, 300 Progressive Sight Reading Exercises for Piano, Volume 1. I'm going to walk you through how I use this with my students and how I recommend people use this book to get the most out of it. Notes in treble clef. Most people in like a grade school music class are familiar with the every good boy does fine for the lines and the FACE for the spaces. But a lot of times people are completely unaware that the notes are just the alphabet forward as we ascend the staff. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. If we have ledger lines going up, it just continues through the alphabet. If we have ledger lines going down, it continues backwards through the alphabet. Treble clef is also called G clef, because that line that's surrounded made into something that looks like a target on that second to bottom line is G. So another name for it is G clef. Again, the notes are just in alphabetical order. The bottom line being E, F, G. When we get to G, that's the end of the music alphabet. So it's back to A, B, C, D, E, and so on. Identifying note names in bass clef. Bass clef can also be called F clef because the two dots in the clef surround the second to top line, which is F. So you may be familiar with the good boys do fine always for the lines, and all cars eat gas, or all cows eat grass, or whatever for the spaces. But again, it's just the alphabet as we ascend the staff. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Of course, G is the last letter of the music alphabet. So after the last letter becomes the first one again. Back to A. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And as we ascend up the staff further, the top line would be an A, and then we keep going. We hit a B, a C, a D, an E, and it would just continue forward through the alphabet. And it can go the other way as well. We can keep having ledger lines lower than the bottom line of the bass clef staff as well. Below the line would be F, and the first ledger line down is E, D, and C. And these are just in alphabetical order. C, D, E, F, 4. We're going to see mostly 4/4 in this set of videos that I'm going to talk about how to use this book first. And for right now, we're counting to 4. We're focusing on the upper number of the time signature. 4/4 means there are 4 quarter notes per measure, and a quarter note gets a beat. So we play the whole note once and let it continue to ring for 4 counts. So we'd play, in this case, it's a C, 2, 3, 4, and then we play another C, 2, 3, 4. We don't play it 4 times, we play it once and hold the key down and let it continue to ring for 4 beats. With half notes, we're going to play on 1 and 3. So we play 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't play the note twice. We play it once, hold it down for 2 counts, and then play it again on 3 and hold it down through 3 and 4. Quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 on each beat in this case. Now here we're seeing what I'm going to call the division of the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the subdivision of the beat. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Counting rhythms in 6/8. Again, there are not 6 beats in 6/8. There are 2 beats in 6/8. A lot of people are taught to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's fine, it works, but again, the internationally agreed upon counting system for a compound meter like 6/8 is 1 a la, 2 a la, and that's how most colleges are going to train their students. Most piano books start out in C position, and this one's not going to be any different. We start out in C position. It's a clear picture on where the notes are on the staff, where they're located, what finger numbers go where on the keys, and what the finger numbers are. Your thumbs are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really commonly when people first start out, I usually train them to be really comfortable with the finger numbers first. I make that the priority. I even put that above and beyond the counting. The finger numbers become most important first. It's really common for people to, with their left hand, confuse the 1s and 5s and the 2s and 4s. The thumbs are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So typically a lot of times people go to play something with their left hand and they'll see 2's note, but they'll think that's 2. So this book is meant to start so easy that a beginner can play on it and immediately have something that they can read. Part of the way this book is designed is I've got an exercise number 1 and exercise number 2 that are exactly the same melody. One is to be played with the right hand, one is to be played with the left hand. We really want to make sure we're looking at number 1 and playing with the right hand, and make sure we're looking at number 2 and playing with their left hand. A lot of times what happens is I get students that come in, maybe they've had some piano experience in the past, and they can read treble clef okay, and they're weak at reading bass clef. And this book actually helps them quite a bit, because we can use that right hand to help coach the left hand. If we're not sure what this note is, we can look up here real quick and figure it out. And I've had a lot of success getting people to be really good at reading bass clef in a very short amount of time using this book. I did not include any finger numbers in this book on purpose, because I use it to train my students how to navigate the keyboard and make up their own mind on what the fingering should be. There's a lot of different fingerings that might work for any given piece of music. This stuff is designed to start in C position, so typically I'll point my students in the direction of placing their thumb on that C, which is middle C, and I'll guide them to place their little finger, their pinky, number 5, on this C. At exercise 25, we start to see the range expand beyond C position, and it's just going to expand by one note. And every 8 exercises, we're going to see one new thing show up in the range. By exercise 33, we're starting to see both hands show up. The right hand has the busier part here, but now the left hand has the busier part here. So the left hand gets just as much training, just as much work as the right hand.